You find yourself saying that you don't have enough time to practice, therefore you can't get better. It's just not true. Here's the thing, there's a difference between playing guitar and practicing guitar. I've had people say to me, I've been playing guitar for 30 years, and I hear them play, and you know, I think to myself, it sounds like you've been playing 3 weeks. So, you know, there's a big difference. Here's the thing, playing the same repetitive motions over and over again, if you're doing the wrong things, is not going to help whatsoever. So like I always say, keep things slow. If it's chord changes you're trying to work on, forget this hand, just use one hand. Just go really slow. This is how you're going to improve. It's the fastest way, I promise. It's the most effective way to get better in the shortest amount of time. See, somebody can play the same song, not even in time, just rushing, speeding up. You know, you can do a couple of songs like that for years, 15 years, and never actually dig deep and, you know, work on some of these techniques, like different strumming patterns, for example. You know, you find yourself playing the same thing over and over again. Maybe it's pull-offs or hammer-ons. You know, some of these more advanced techniques, or slides. So to get better at these techniques, what we will have to do is break it down, you know, make small blocks, and then practice those small blocks, and when you put them all together, you'll have the whole thing. Let me give you an example. So there we have a hammer-on the 5th string. So that's the first block. I've got to be able to actually do a hammer-on. Then the same thing on the next string, different finger, and then the chord. And you could even leave this finger on here, watch. Could do that if you want. What we've got there though is the notes bleed into one another. You got that, and then that at the same time, so they kind of overlap. You might not want that. That's when you'd need to take your finger off. So these small blocks will lead to bigger, better, advanced techniques. You know, and that's just this hand. When we take a look at the other hand, we've got all sorts of different finger picking patterns, strumming patterns. Some of the Spanish techniques are really interesting, where you have multiple strums, like this kind of thing, or rasgueado it's called, so it's where you kind of flick the strings like this. So I've got one down with a third, one down with a second, then first. We're kind of we're doing this kind of thing. So I've got everything kind of in the thumb. It's kind of that flicking technique. So you get that kind of sound. You know, there's all sorts of different advanced techniques that you can do. Some classical guitar picking techniques. But again, you know, 10 minutes a day, that's all you need, but you've got to practice, not just play.